Welcome everyone to the game of Praggnananda, who seems to be in good spirits before his battle against Mikhail Kobalia. Well, who's the player who's talking to him? I think I'll leave it to the comment section to figure it out. You can't see his face, but I think the body language kind of gives up the hand gestures there. Pragg is playing at the World Blitz Championship, World Rapid Championships. As you can see, it's 15 plus 10, and he is currently on a score of, he's unbeaten until now. In fact, he was unbeaten until round 4. Then he lost to Sandeepan Chanda. He was on 3 out of 4, lost to Chanda, and now 3 out of 5 he takes on Mikhail Kobalia. Kobalia, a very well-known strong player from Russia, and he is now well known as the trainer of Volodar Murzin, the grandmaster who became the world rapid champion in 2024. So this will be an interesting clash because Murzin, on his journey to becoming a world rapid champion last year, did beat Praggnananda, and now Pragg can try and play, beat his trainer there. Pragg has the black pieces. The last round was a tough one for him because he was doing very well and then went on to lose that game against Sandeepan Chanda. The players are ready. 15 minutes plus 10 seconds increment, and think we are ready to rock and roll here. Handshake, and let's go. Kobalia brings his knight out to f3, and Pragg now thinks for a bit, brings his knight out to f6 as well. We have pawn to d4. The bishop opens up. Pawn comes up to e6, also opening up the bishop. Pawn to c4. There's bishop b4 check that Pragg has been playing, but he goes for the Queen's Indian with b6. A very interesting line. Pawn to g3, bishop a6, hitting the pawn on c4. And now queen to c2, defending the pawn. And we have pawn to c5, just pushing the pawn. Ooh, the pawn sack line with d5 takes, and bishop comes back to b7. e4 is not a good idea because of queen e7, and e4 is hanging, also d5 is hanging. So bishop g2, giving up the pawn. If you take with the bishop, I have knight c3, so knight d5 makes sense, and you quickly castle. What is the compensation here that white has for the pawn? Well, he has the d file, which is what he captures here. And bishop e7, very important move. If you take the knight, then knight b4 attacks the queen and the rook. So you go queen a4, and now the knight comes back to f6. Generally in such positions, knight h4 to knight f5 is a common plan. He goes e4, and this entire file is in white's control, and there are weaknesses here. Castles. And now just knight to c3. He goes e5 as well. Wow. Pragg's best idea is knight e8 with the idea of knight c7, knight e6, and plonking a knight on the d4 square. That makes a lot of sense. Knight comes out to c3. You want to put your knight on d5. Knight c7 played. And now bishop to e3. Stopping a black knight from coming to d4. You have f5 on the board. And now rook comes to d2. You want to bring the other rook to d1 to attack the d7 pawn. Queen goes to e8, rook d1, and Pragg quickly defends it. So everything's defended for now. Black is a bit passive, but that's the price you pay for an extra pawn. h4, nice move by Kobalia, stopping at some point, the expansion on king side. King h8 played. Both players playing really well. Knight e2, maybe the first small inaccuracy here. And b5 played by Pragg, attacking the queen. Because the knight was defending the b5 square, he couldn't have done that before. But now the queen needs to move. Maybe queen c2 seems like the right move. He goes queen a3, which is very interesting because you can hit the queen again, but there's bishop c5. So he goes knight e6. And queen comes to c3. I love how Mikhail is playing here. He's making all the accurate moves. And Pragg is also playing amazingly accurate. He goes c4 here, gaining even more space in the position. And a3 played. a5 is on the board with b4 as a plan. What is white going to do? White goes knight to f4. A nice move. He has control on the dark squares with knight g5 also coming up. Bishop a6. But can we go knight takes knight now? He tries to bring his queen back first. Queen to c1. And Praggnanandhaa now can start keep expanding on the queen side with b4. He plays it. Pawn to b4. Pragg making use of the advantages he has. Takes control of this. And now c3 coming in. Sacks a pawn. Pawn to c3. And the rook is hanging. So he takes. Bishop takes on f1. King takes f1. And now you can take on a3. Not on c3. Because taking on a3 would leave with the c3 pawn weakness. He first takes on f4. Bishop f4. And now take on a3. So black's position looking now really good at this point. We have knight coming into d4. And knight takes knight. Rook takes knight on d4. And queen comes up to f7. With this pawn protected and the a pawn pushing forward, the bishop comes out to g5. And black can simply start pushing here. Takes. The queen enters in. Count the pawns here. Black is a pawn up. But e6 played. Oh, e6, e7 is a threat. But did he miss that queen can go back and snatch the pawn? Maybe Kobalia is like, I'll get the a3 pawn in return. Which is why he's played e6. Queen takes a3 and f4 played by Pragg. Fantastic move. He's going for the attack here with queen h3 check. And if rook takes f4, g takes f4, there's queen h3. So takes. Take on f4. Take. Pawn takes. And we go queen h3 check. King e1 played. And there's rook e8 check that comes in. Yes. King comes up to d2. And we have queen to f3. Brings the queen to c5. But that's a mate now with rook e2 check. Comes in with the rook. Queen takes f4 taken. And well, king b1 is met with queen e4 check. And it is game over because king a1, queen a4. And Pragg has managed to win. He played a brilliant game, I must say, Pragg here. He didn't give his opponent any chances. And I want to bring your attention to this entire way in which Pragg played. And a move that I think was really cool was in this position when he played the move f5. I think Kobalia should have taken here on f6 and taken here. But the fact that he did not meant that the e6 square was a very nice one for the black knight, which went and sat there. And then Pragg slowly started making use of his queenside majority. Well, in a way, you can say that the position was not standard, but Pragg really understood it better than his opponent. And that's the reason why he's one of the best players in the world. And also, I love how he's analyzing here, trying to understand the deeper intricacies. Always, he's a big student of the game of chess and really enjoyed this encounter against Kobalia.